Okay, today we continue with our Laws of Shabbos class. Today is class number 28. And we start with Sefer Shmiras Halashon. And today's topic is pure and untainted. So the page 101. Please go ahead.
Got it. Pure and untainted. The Talmud states, Reish Lakish said in the name of Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya, the world is sustained only in the merit of the breadth of Torah study of school children. Said Rabbi Papa to Abaye, and what is with yours and mine when they're talking about their Torah study? Abaye replied, there is no comparison between breath that is tainted by sin and breath that is free of sin. If the sages were, to their minds, guilty of forbidden speech, it could only have been an inadvertent and rare occurrence, that they declared their words of divine service to be tainted because of this. How much more so is this true of one who habitually speaks the forbidden, especially Lashon Hara, which causes ill will and strife among Jews.
That's amazing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the only problem that they had is sometimes, occasionally, they would speak Lashon Hara, like sleep out. Okay. So, all right, so let's stop here. So we continue with Laws of Shabbos. So we're on a topic of tearing, right? And we're on practical applications. So next one is paper napkins, towels, and tissues. So I would say this is the most popular. It is permitted to tear open in destructive fashion a package of tissue or a package of paper napkins or towels needed for Shabbos meal. These are considered general necessities, but the destructive meaning, if you need facial tissues, you have to cut the box completely, so it's not usable. It's not open, but destroyed basically. But on one hand, on another hand, you are permitted to do that because it's Shabbos necessities. Okay. However, it's absolutely forbidden to tear paper towels from the roll. That's okay. This violates the prohibition of koirea, tearing. If one tears along the perforation, one also transgress the prohibition of mechatev, cutting to specification. So remember, we said we cannot measure. I'm not sure if we said that or not. Maybe. I mean, yeah. I mean, when we were discussing the writing, we said that we cannot buy and say, give me 1 pound. Right? So you cannot say that. So it's cut into specification. So it's a specific, okay? Box tissues that tap up are often fastened to each other. This type of tissue may not be pulled from the box on Shabbos. So meaning what? That one, when one pulls another. I mean that somehow they connected. So we don't use this kind. We use the kind that one is laid on top of the other. So when you pull one, you don't do anything. They're not connected at all. Okay. This type of tissue may not be used pull from box on Shabbos. Okay, see below paragraph G concerning toilet paper. Okay, so it's separate discussion. Okay, so next one is the C, bandages. It is permitted to tear open in destructive fashion the wrapper of needed bandage without tearing any words. Okay, since the bandage is a genuine necessity. So as I said last time, the best way is just to take scissors and cut precisely, so you're not going to cut through the wall. Right? However, some bandages, some brands of Band-Aids can be removed from their wrappers without any, by unfolding the folded ends of the wrapper and sliding the bandage out. I'm not sure if I ever seen this kind, but okay. There are wrappers. These wrappers should not be torn unnecessarily, meaning that it's it's not like glued shut like most of the bandage, but it's like only like folded. Okay. Some poskim state that one should not peel off the plastic tabs of a new band-aid on Shabbos. So that's okay. So when we're talking about stricter opinion, so this is the stricter, very strict opinion, right? So you cannot peel this plastic tab. Rather, one should peel off and reattach them before Shabbos. So I mean, if so, I would say comment on this end, but if you have like a pre-existing wound, like you know that you need to change bandage on Shabbos, that's okay. But if you cut yourself on Shabbos, God forbid, I mean, so what exactly going to do? One is then permitted to remove them on Shabbos, meaning when he did before the Shabbos, then reattached. When he needs the band-aid, since he attached only temporarily. Okay. So as you see, there is a huge, very long discussion in Hebrew with HaShem.
Wait, one question. So for band-aids though, sometimes is it still okay since they might take off your hair?
No, we're talking. Okay, that's a different issue. We get we're going to get to this issue. It's actually different different prohibition. It's a prohibition of plucking. So you cannot pluck the things from the ground.
Uh-huh.
And it says the person, whatever it means, connected to the ground. So you cannot pluck out the hair. So if you need, so of course, so there are a few leniencies. So one of the leniencies is you're not doing it intentionally. Your intention is to put a fresh band-aid and to cover. Okay, it's first leniency, and then second leniency is not doing it intentionally. What is the second one? So that's the only thing. I mean, you're not doing it intentionally and trying to minimize the damage. But even if you do it slowly, it does not make any difference. It's going to. But since it is for Shabbos necessity, so they would allow. Yeah. But that's a different halacha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. However, Hagon Rav Moshe Feinstein Zatzal ruled that it is also permitted to peel off the plastic tabs of a band-aid for the first time on Shabbos. So, I mean, without this, it would be like the life would be impossible to do this band-aid. I mean, how do you know that you're going to cut yourself? How do you know? I have no idea. All right, so basically, so we go by Rav Moshe Feinstein Zatzal. So if you need a band-aid, you can change the band-aid. The only thing, watch when you remove this paper wrapping, just cut it without cutting any letters. That's it. Okay. Continue. Disposable diapers. According to some authorities, the peeling of this preceding discussion concerning band-aid tabs pertains also to adhesive tabs of disposable diapers. They therefore state that one should unglue the adhesive tabs and refasten them once before Shabbos, and only then unfasten them for actual use on Shabbos. However, Hagaon Harav Moshe Feinstein Zatzal and other authorities rule that this is unnecessary. Okay, I mean, we can go by lenient opinion, more lenient of Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, but this is, I would say, it would be easy to predict. So you have a little baby, it needs diapers. So you prepare, I don't know, 5 pairs, 6 pairs, whatever you need to prepare, and that's it, you're done. Right? So because you know for sure you would need them on Shabbos, or at least some of them. Often the ends of the disposable diapers are fused together in a factory and must be torn apart for the diapers to be opened. That's what we said last time. Of course, it was unintentionally. That's this fusion is not done intentionally, of course, but occurs when the diapers are cut or when they are pressed for packing. So basically, the way I understand, maybe it's like a little higher temperature or something like that. Okay, that's and they got connected. Since the melacha of tearing does not pertain to items that were attached in unintentionally, it is permitted to peel open these diapers. Okay, so that's Baruch Hashem, that's good. So, but it's very important. Say when it's since the melach of tirin does not pertain to the items that were attached inadvertently and unintentionally. So as we said last time, we had the example of oh no, actually it's here. I apologize. It's in the book between the pages, like pieces of food. Right. So it says that it is prohibited to cut or tear apart pages of the book that remain attached during the binding. So today, I haven't seen this for a very long time, but in the olden days, there was very often like few pages would got stuck together. They did not cut them open, right? Like 2 pages, like completely from the factory. That's what it is. This act involves a transgression of 3 prohibitions. Very interesting, right? One is stealing. So you understand what's going on. So this pages got stuck on a side. In a factory, it's not got stuck. It was never cut open. Like they can completely stuck together, right? It's not stuck. It's just page bended, like completely connected. Right? I apologize. I just want to be clear as possible. So 3 prohibitions. One is tearing, as we said. Second, cutting to specification, because you need exactly say one page, right? You have 1 page and another page, exactly the same size. That's second problem. And third problem, completing the formation of the item. As we said, and we're going to return to this issue, is makir bepatish. When you say, you remember I said that the last blow of the hammer, like when you complete so before that item was, utensil was not complete, you did whatever you did and you completed. That's the issue. It is immaterial whether the book is new or it was previously read, but some pages remain attached. So I mean, yeah, I'm not sure why would somebody think it's different. I mean, maybe you didn't get to page 300 yet, and that's exactly where it got stuck. Okay, continue. The pages become attached inadvertently. If the pages got attached inadvertently, for example, food fell between them during the reading, or glue fell during the binding. Okay, it is permitted to separate them, provided that one does not tear the pages themselves. So I mean, if it's easy to separate and it's only on a white field without any wording, so it would not be a problem.
Wait, question. When we're talking about tearing for like a page, doesn't matter. Tearing as in you make, let's say, 1 page and then you tear a bit and it makes 2 pieces, or it can still be one page with a little bit in it teared. Let's say you cut half a paper, correct? You cut in the middle. That now it's still one.
Let's. That's not what we're talking about here. You understand that? You give totally different example, correct?
Well, yeah.
Okay, all right. All right, go ahead.
I'm saying that when it says tearing, for example, with the papers, okay?
Yes.
Let's if it says that one does not tear the pages themselves. So let's say one, I don't know, is flipping the page of a book, right? Now sometimes the page might tear a little bit on the top or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that count as tearing, or is tearing only one of the 2 pages, or when?
It's also tearing. It's unintentional, but also tearing. But here they discuss when it got stuck together, like between the 2 pages and a piece of bread fell, and it got stuck together, and now you want to separate them.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on a substance that the binding substance. If it's food, whatever, and it's like thick pages, like in our book, then most likely they're not going to rip to create a hole, right? I mean, so most likely not. But if it's thin pages in some books that I read, like very very thin pages, very thin. In the Medrash, very thin pages. It's like never ends. I've been learning that Medrash Rabbah. I'm still on Bereshit. We did it only once a week. I think maybe a year or a year and a half. The pages is so thin, it's unbelievable. It's never ended. I'm still on Bereshit for 1 year. Okay, Baruch Hashem. Maybe no, more than a year, and we did not even close to the end. Okay, yes. So those pages would be very, very dangerous because they're so thin. For sure, you're going to. But here, like more storage pages, so there is no problem. Okay, so we said it food fell between the pages. So, for example, there was a glue. So now they with all of the modern technologies, they're so precise, so accurate. So it does not happen. I have not seen for I don't know maybe 10 years or more. I never seen any issues with books. However, if there is anything written on the pages that was covered by the glue, or that will be erased or torn in a process, it is forbidden to separate the pages. The page first. I mean, it's clear, right? So it would be erasing. So if it fell on the top of where the word is, even you see what do you say? What it says be like underneath the substance. If you read, right? If it's here, it can erase the letter. Okay. Continue. Opening letters. It is forbidden to open sealed letters on Shabbos. Even tearing the envelope open distractedly is forbidden since reading the letter is not considered Shabbos needs. So as we said last time, not last time, like a few classes ago, like as I said, we don't check mail on a Friday. Okay, whatever is there is there. It's not going to go anywhere, right? If one receives an urgent letter whose content he must know on Shabbos, he may tear the envelope distractedly, meaning cut in all three corners, let's say, and three sides. That's it. This envelope is useless.
Wait, does it count as a necessity? Let's just say, can we go by the leniency?
Yeah. He said urgency. I don't know. Maybe it's from a court.
Yeah.
Invitation room.
Well, let's say it's ruining someone's enjoyment of Shabbos because he's like, oh, I want to know what's in this letter.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, that's drives person crazy.
Got it.
But that's what you have to like pray for, to have peace of mind. For peace of mind is not free. Yetzer Hara is going to send you all of the distractions, all of them. Like before in the Shemona Esrei, before you say here, so maybe you will. Before you say this last paragraph, before you take it step back, they say you can add whatever you want from in your own words. And it's one of the things that I always pray. Not always, but many times I pray to have peace of mind.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
That's a very, very good place to ask for this. But otherwise, like one letter can drive, as you said correctly, it can drive a person crazy. He cannot concentrate, cannot enjoy. Opening the airgram is a violation of Torah prohibition and is prohibited in all instances since it must be opened constructively to allow the message be read. I'm not sure how they closed. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, aerogram. I never heard of this word in my life. Well,
it's like a telegram. You know what a telegram is? So in olden days, okay, I'm very old. So in olden days, they would send text through the telephone wires, right? Telephone wires, and it would come with a like in one line. In one line. So the person, whatever the receiver on the post office, will cut and put, like glue it on a letter. So because it's the fastest way.
Got it.
So many people did not have telephones, and that's how, like, if you want to let somebody know that you have a new son, that's what you do. Or you have, I'm coming on this day, please meet me in the airport and stuff like that.
Yes.
That's what we used to do. Okay, very old. In cases of the great necessity, one may hint to a Gentile to open an airgram. The airgram. Okay. So a hint. When this is not feasible, one may even ask Gentile explicitly to open it. Paragraph G1. So we have a separate book in this series. What we can ask Gentile and how can we ask? Not everything is permitted. Okay, so G, okay, tearing the toilet paper. It is forbidden to tear toilet paper on Shabbos. One who tears randomly transgresses a prohibition of korea, tearing, and one who tears along the perforation further transgresses the prohibition of mechatev, cutting to specification. In the event that one does not have pre-cut toilet paper, he should follow one of these procedures. So basically, before we continue, so it's proper before Shabbos that you have all the pre-cut papers. Whatever you need, how many squares, whatever you do, you make sure that you have extra, and that's it. That's the proper way. But what if they do not do? And don't use the facial tissues. Not a good idea, because they're such a good quality. You're going to get problems with the sewer. Right? Okay. So number one, hinting to a Gentile. It is permitted if Gentile is available, one should hint him to tear the paper. However, one should not tell the Gentile explicitly to tear it. One may say, for example, my toilet paper is not torn apart, and I cannot use it in that manner. This is permitted even though the Gentile will deduce from this statement that the Jew wants him to tear the paper. See the Sanctity of Shabbos, page 24 to 26, for detailed discussion of this halacha. If hinting is unsuccessful or impossible, one is permitted to tell Gentile directly to tear the paper. So, since we're on this subject to tell the Gentile, so for example, you said unfortunately I ran off pre-cut paper. Okay, I don't have it anymore. So and if he's asking you, so should I cut some for you? So you cannot say yes. When you say yes, you give him the direction. So if he would figure himself what to do, there is no problem. So it is funny. So we had this issue when we went on vacation. We stayed in a hotel, right, in summer, I don't know, California summer, and we had to get back to the room, right? So but the room has like an electronic key. It is a problem. Tell me, it is a problem. So I mean, we had no choice. So we asked this lady, very nice lady. So I said, today is a holiday, so we cannot get in. We cannot use our key. So she asked all of the information, stuff like that. So she said, do you want me to go with you to open the doors? I cannot say yes. And I started the whole story again. Today's a holiday and we cannot use it. So and she repeated 3 times. I answered 3 times. It's like she said they're stupid. So okay, I'm going to go with you. So I cannot say yes. You understand? So if I say yes, it's instruction for her to go. If she want to be nice, want to be helpful, she can do it on her own. You understand? But that's not a good idea anyway. Number 2, using uncut paper. One may use paper without tearing it from the roll, and when washing, insert the portion of the roll in a toilet and flush. The paper in the bowl will thus be torn automatically from the rest of the roll. This is permitted because it does not one does not tear paper directly, but by causation. By causative action, grammar, and it causes in cases of the great necessity, causing the occurrence of the melacha. Causing the occurrence of melacha is permitted on Shabbos. So let's understand what he's saying. So second option, so you have this toilet paper and it's in a roll. So you can use it, but you cannot leave. So you put whatever the used part in the water, and then it's going to flush with the water, but the rest is going to be wet. And when I just think about it, like when you pull out, it's going to be a big mess. Okay, so let's see. There is another solution. But
A question. So let's say sometimes in hotels, for example, when I was in military school, the toilets were all automatic. There was no flush. So what do you do then?
That's the problem. That's a big problem.
Yeah.
So a Jew basically cannot stay in a hotel like that. So one time we got to the hotel, and it was it was free to us because we use our credit card miles, stuff like that. So of course we did the upgrade to the best room possible. It's free, right? So we got, and it was so fancy schmancy. So you walk into the bathroom and all of the lights come up. So I was like, my heart stopped when we just came in, and it was like half an hour before Shabbos. So whoa. So and asked them, I called them, can you get me a different room, simple room? Say no, we cannot, this and that. Okay, whatever. Or if you want to wait 2 hours, I said Shabbos in 30 minutes. I cannot wait 2 hours, whatever. So they were cleaning the rooms. So we stayed, but I had to disconnect. It was like big nightmare. But the flash was like manual. For other lights, so it's a big issue. So you have to check in a hotel, and it's actually in another book. Without HaShem, we're going to get to it. Like all of these things that make her in hotels, and so the simpler hotel, they don't have all of these things. They don't have all of the sensor lights, all of these lights, so it's perfect. You understand? Okay. Unless you're in Israel. In Israel, they do have sensor lights everywhere. So that's what we have in Israel. It was not a religious hotel. I mean, the hotel, whatever. There is like Jews and non-Jews were staying there. So basically, when you go out of the room, right? So the lights, I'm not sure the lights go off or not. I'm not sure. I don't remember the lights, but air conditioner for sure shuts off. So every time, and there are Arabs that were working on the front desk, so we will say like, thank you very much, we're coming back, and they know, said, but it's probably very hot in the room. She said, okay, I'm going to send somebody to check. She knows the drill. They would put on air conditioner for us, but every time. That's okay. So that's, but at least when you're in Israel, so and people know what to do, so it's easier to then these Gentiles in the middle of nowhere, like we were in I don't know, in Montana or somewhere. Like, okay, cheating and in unusual manner. So this is the best option, I say. I think like the most practical. If for some reason neither of the affirmation procedure can be employed, it is permitted to tear the paper of the roll in unusual fashion. For example, by tearing with one teeth, elbow, or feet. So, and that's what I employed one time also. So, yeah. So people did not know. I mean, the teeth, they're basically the best option. When doing so, one should tear the paper from the roll at the random length, and should not deviate, not divide the cut pieces into small pieces. Okay, so just cut like whatever the measurements that you need, and not on perforations, and not cut first big piece and then small pieces. That's a different issue. The reason this is permitted is that tearing in a usual fashion is prohibited only rabbinically, and rabbis provided dispensation for the sake of maintaining a human dignity. So we're going to work with this term of human dignity many times, right? So in some instances they would be lenient in for if something is prohibited rabbinically, but for human dignity they say there is no problem. Okay. H, cutting a string or ribbon. It is permitted to cut a string destructively. Thus, one may cut or tear a string that was wrapped around a parcel, or as we said yesterday, maybe like cookies from a bakery. Right? One may also cut a string with which the label is connected to a garment, or to a string holding together a new pair of gloves or slippers. So it's this last line is very, very practical. So for example, you got yourself a new shirt, right? And you forgot to remove all of the stickers. So you get jacket, right? So you're allowed to cut this label. Understand? Or new pair of gloves, new pair of slippers, whatever is connected. So you because you actually destroying it, and it's a Shabbos necessity. I think it's very practical. Also, for example, if you get things from what is it from a dry cleaners, you also can remove, but also destructive. Okay, continue. Removing safety pins. According to most authorities, it is prohibited to remove a safety pin that was threaded through the garment twice and was left there for more than 7 days. See above page 69 for a fuller discussion of the subject. So basically, it was sewn, so you're not allowed to open it up. Okay. So it's going to be tearing. Okay. Then J, the last one, removing staples. It is forbidden to undo staples that attach several pieces of paper. Likewise, it is forbidden to undo a cleaner stack, right, that are separate as staple to the garment. So, but what I was saying, so, I mean, today what they do, they, for example, they put in a hole of like where the button goes, right, and they staple on the edge. So if you want, you can cut from another side. So you don't touch staples. Staples you can undo. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see. All right, so let's start the next one. So we're done with the cheating. So we're going to number 8, garments that may be worn on Shabbos. So it's not so easy. So it's actually what we're talking like indirectly many times. It's about carrying. Mm-hmm. What is considered to be carrying, and so here we're going to see we're going to say that you can go out in a garment. So what is a garment? What is not a garment? Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see. The garments that may be worn on Shabbos. Introduction. The Torah prohibits transferring object on Shabbos from one private domain to the public domain. So we're going to define what is it. From the public domain to a private domain, or a distance of 4 amos, that is 4 cubits, approximately 7 feet or 2.1 meters within the public domain. Okay, so let's stop here and one more time. So you cannot transfer from one domain to another. So to simplify. So you cannot transfer from your house to the outside. So we're going to see what does it mean. From the outside into your house. So this way or other way. And if it is in a public domain, you cannot pick it up, pick the thing up, and carry it for 4 amos, which is 7 to 8 feet. Okay. Continue. The sages further forbade transferring objects from the private or public domain into Carmelis. For the Carmelis is from Carmelis to either domain, and 4 amos within the Carmelis. Okay, so Carmelis. So I think we discussed it recently. I don't remember when. I think maybe this week or previous week. So Carmelis is it's like it's a rabbinical intermediate domain. Actually, we spoke about it yesterday. No. We spoke when we spoke about mezuzah, right? When we spoke about mezuzah in our kids class, so we mentioned this Carmelis.
Wait, a question. Let's say someone's walking with on Shabbos. He forgot that he left money in his pocket. Let's just say money or something.
Yes.
And in the middle of walking, he remembers. Okay. Now, let's say, is he allowed to walk more than 4 amos or no with the money?
So if he does not stop, so he's allowed to walk. So, but then he has to drop them somewhere. So we're going to learn all of the details. Let's leave it for later, because all of the cases we have to discuss. We forgot what to do and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's see the definition of Carmelis. So okay, before we continue, so Carmelis is all our streets. They consider it to be Carmelis because, as we said yesterday, true public domain, according to some opinions, where 600 people are traveling in one day, and it's one long street and stuff like that. And okay, so today, most likely, most of our streets are not public domain, true public domain, but they're harmless. But rabbis said, told us to treat them strictly and consider them as public domain, these harmless. So our street, basically, they're harmless, but we're going to treat them as if they were public domain. So it is rabbinical rule. Okay, so let's see the note. Okay. The following is a brief description of these areas. A private domain is any area with an area of 4 tefachim, 10 bracelets, by 4 tefachim. There is a demarked by the wall of at least 10 tefachim high. So private area, it does not mean that it's that there is your house or a synagogue or some store, right? So it could be like even garbage pail, like from on the outside, the city garbage, it's a private area.
Wait, well, one question. So, for example, I'm not sure if this analogy works, but when we're allowed to have a light on before Shabbos because we turned the light on before and we're allowed to use it now, right? So the thing is, I highly doubt the answer is yes, but I'll ask. So let's say someone picked up a box before Shabbos. Is he allowed to carry it from a private domain to a public domain on Shabbos?
No, he has to stop.
Got it. Understood.
So the end, just since you asked the question, so I want to give you the line from Gemara that about the light on all other things. So and they all arrived derived from one thing, from one idea. So it says if you open the water to water your garden before Shabbos, it can be watered on Shabbos. That's it. So basically, you're not doing any actions, physical action. It's done by itself. So all of these things are permitted. Okay. So continue. But as a sikh, for carrying you need to do some actions. For turning the light, there is no action involved. Like you did it before Shabbos, and that's it. Okay. So we said that private domain is a 4x4, minimum 4x4 tefachim. Tefach is a feast. So a feast, they say it's like 3.5 to 3.25, 3.5 to 4 inches. Okay, let's put it this way. 3. So it's like let's say to simplify, like 11.5 or 12 inches by 12 inches, which is like not a big area. Sorry, but it's already considered private domain if it has walls. A public domain is a highway city. Is a highway, city street or a square. Okay, so we're going to see. These streets must be at least 16 amos wide and frequented. So 16 amos. So for us to understand what is 16 amos, so it's like 24 inch feet. So it's I don't know, 20. I'm not sure how many lanes. Maybe it's a 4-lane highway, maybe 6 lane. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert. Maybe 5, maybe 3 lanes even. Right? I mean, it's very wide street, right? Wide and frequented as by many people. Some Rishonim rule that unless 600,000 people traverse the thoroughfare, it is not a judge of the public domain. So 600,000, as we said yesterday, so maybe it's like Fifth Avenue in Manhattan or some like Broadway, maybe Times Square or something like. But definitely not our streets. But some people say also Ocean Parkway. So Ocean Parkway, I'm not sure. I mean, why they said since there is a spec and Belt Parkway also. So that's why if you see all of the Eruvim, they stop before Short Parkway. No, not sure. Yeah, before Short Parkway, not to go through the Belt Parkway, right? And they don't cover usually the Ocean Parkway. Okay, because it's a doubt. Not because for sure, because it's a doubt, and it's sure that it's a 6-lane street and even more like there is service road, so it's very broad street. Okay, the streets must also not be roofed or walled and must pass through the city entirely. So that's most of the street, of course. I mean, Bell Parkway, I would guess it goes through the whole city. Okay. A Carmelis, I'm not sure if 600,000 people go. I'm not sure. So that's the definition of public domain. So it has to be like some 30 feet, like that, 32 to 34 feet wide. 32. It has to be 600 people has to go through one day, and no roof, no walls, and it has to go through the whole city. Okay, I'm not sure if it says when I'm learning the laws if it has to be straight or can turn. I'm not sure. I somehow I think I remember it says maybe one opinion that it has to be straight. So basically, like theoretically, you can see from one end to another. I'm not sure. It was accepted halacha, probably not. Okay, continue. A Carmelis is any open unclosed area not meeting the specification of public domain. Okay, and any area of 40 tefachim by 40 tefachim with the walls between 3 and 10 tefachim in height. Okay, so that's so let's read one more time and explain. Sorry, the Carmelis is any unenclosed area, so as our streets, right? Not meeting the characteristics of public domain, so it's not one big street, not so many people, not so wide, right? And any area of the 40 tefachim by 40 tefachim with the walls 3 by 3 between 3 and 10 tefachim in height. So it's this, or as we said, these garbage pails or whatever. So it's going to be this to meet these conditions. So you have tall walls. Even you don't need tall. This tall is good. I mean, you have box. I don't know what kind of box. Some box, I would say the mailbox. Right? So you cannot mail on Shabbos because of the other things also. Okay, continue. It is forbidden to transfer anything from one of this domain into the other one. So come to introduction, see introduction to Tractate Shabbos and Article Mishnah, series for through discussion of these domains. Okay. I mean, for now, I think that's more than enough information. It is obviously permitted, however, to walk from one domain to another while clothed, right? Even though one thereby transported his apparel to a different domain. So when you walk in your clothing, so it's not considered a transfer, since the articles the person is wearing serves the function of clothing him. They are subordinate to him and are considered as if they were part of him, rather than separate object of being carried by him. So that's very important definition. So, and it's going to play a big role, right? So all of these things are subordinate to him. Right? However, not all items that the person wears are automatically considered apparel. In order to be considered apparel, an item must serve one of the following functions, and it's very important. All of these things, all of these three functions: to clothe, there is to cover a person for the sake of modesty and dignity. Sake of modesty and dignity, very important. B, to protect the body from elements or injury. Okay, whatever you need from elements of injury, the shoes and other things. Okay. C, to prevent discomfort. Each of these categories will be more clearly defined later in this chapter. Okay. So we just going to do introduction and this stuff. Okay. So if something does not fit in one of these categories, it is not considered clothing, and one is forbidden to walk from one domain to another, or 4 hours in a public domain or carnalness while wearing it. Okay. So basically, so if it's not in one of these categories, and we're going to see, and so some of the things will be surprising.
Wait, just a question. I'll just ask one.
Yeah.
So let's say, what about carrying a pillow then? Because maybe I'll fall. The pillow will stop me from falling. I won't get injured. So
exactly. So that's we're going to discuss it. Let's leave it for later. It's I mean, basically what I would say, right? So it's better for a person to stay home, right, if he needs to care. But they say since he's going to get distressed, right? How come I cannot go to shul? So if person like that, so they would allow him to carry it indirectly. But if it's for sure he might need it, like in some maybe the people with the diabetes or some other things that they can have this sudden attack, right? So they would need that spear. But otherwise, it's not allowed. Rather than being subordinate, okay, let me go back one sentence. So from the beginning, if something does not fit into these categories, it is not considered clothing, and one is forbidden to walk from one domain to another for 4 hours in a public domain or carnals when wearing. Rather than being subordinate to a person, such an article of clothing is independent entirely. That the person is carrying is not wearing. So I give you one example, right? So it says that if you're wearing glasses, so you need glasses for your because you need to go, you need to see where to go. But reading glasses, some people, right? They use it only reading glasses, so it would be carrying because you don't need them to walk in the street. You understand? So that's a big difference. To list by a single example, a striking worker would not be permitted to wear a placard while walking in public domain, since the placard serves none of the functions described above. Okay. I mean, okay, just example. Moreover, the sages notice that while in the public domain, people occasionally take off certain items and that they are wearing, and then continue walking while carrying these items. That's another problem. So that's a big issue that we're going to discuss. So if there is so the sages say if you're afraid that he's going to take off an item, maybe because maybe the shoes is too big and it looks funny and people make fun of him, right? So he might take it off. So they say it is absolutely forbidden. To prevent such an occurrence on Shabbos, the sages deemed it necessary to prohibit going outside by wearing certain items of apparel. They include. So basically, if we're afraid that he's going to take him off and walk, so that's the problem. A, loose articles that has tendency to fall off. Okay, we're going to discuss it later on. B, the garment that might subject wearer to ridicule, thus causing him to remove it temporarily. I'm not sure what this would be. I mean, I know, but this example, like big shoes, right? But okay. C, an article that is often removed by the wearer to display to the others. Okay, so let's see note. Actually, the sages applied this prohibition on 3 other types of articles as well. However, since the other category are not applicable nowadays, we'll not discuss them. Okay, so yeah, go ahead.
So since a kippah is rabbinical, let's say someone doesn't have a hair clip and it's windy, it has a tendency to fall off. So is he allowed to not wear the kippah, or?
No. He has to wear it. Just hold it with your hand. There is no problem.
Got it.
So I saw many times exactly what you say. So a person is walking and it's windy. He takes kippah, put it in his pocket. You normal?
Wait, a question then. Why for the first point? Why can't we do the same exact thing? Where let's say it's a loose article, why can't we just hold on to it? Why is there?
No, they say since it's a loose article, right? It has tendency to fall. So don't go out with that article. So for example, there's a button. It's about to fall off. So you're not allowed to go with this shirt on Shabbos. Why? Because it's going to fall off, and you're going to pick it up and carry it.
But the same reasoning used for the kippah, why can't we use the same reasoning?
No. Kippah is not easily to remove unless it's a very strong wind.
Got it. Understood.
Usually, or if somebody, as Rabbi was right, he said no, you know the kippah that fly with the wind that he got on Bar Mitzvah. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody's laughing. Yeah, that's kippah. Yes, it's fly without wind and just fly. I'm not sure, and although like people can afford kippah, it's not like kippah is a lifetime investment, right? It's like I don't know, go buy yourself a good kippah and that's it. It's not going to fly so easily. Okay. So B. Okay. So we said loose articles. B. One more time. The garment that might be subject to wear to ridicule, so people are going to make fun of him. And C. The articles that are often removed by wearer to display the others. So, for example, we say like jewelry. So today, maybe not, but in olden days, they would remove and show this, I said, especially ladies, show to each other and stuff like that. So that would be the issue.
Jewelry is allowed to wear, no?
Say it again.
Isn't jewelry allowed?
Yeah, it's allowed. It's like they say today is allowed. Why? Because we live in a richer society and many people have jewelry, so it's not as rare as in olden days.
Got it. Understood.
In olden days, it would pass from generation to generation, stuff like that. Okay, so continue. The first two categories will be explained in details later on in this chapter. The following chapter will be devoted to the third category. So third meaning the remove to display. Let us consider. Let us proceed to examine the laws in details. Throughout the remainder of the chapter, we refer to the wearing certain articles of clothing outdoors. Of course, outdoors. We employ this term for the sake of brevity. In all cases, our intention is to refer to going from a private domain to the public domain and vice versa, from either domain to Carmelist and vice versa, and for Amos in a public domain or Carmelist while wearing the articles. So, meaning what? Well, in simple terms, what he's saying here. So, in your house, you can wear whatever you want. Mm-hmm. It's not Muslim. It's there is no prohibition. But when we go outside, and it's of course our streets are Carmelist, there is no question about it. But we treat them very strictly. We don't wear all these things. Okay, so let's stop here. Any questions?
Everything was great, Rabbi. No questions today.
Okay, Baruch HaShem. All right, very nice. I know if you had questions, you would ask.
Yes.
So
okay.
You I believe, but other people, I don't believe that easy. Okay, thank you very much. Good night. Until tomorrow, B'ezrat Hashem. Thank you. Bye-bye.
אני מברך את הרבנים, רגע. אני מברך את הרבנים, הרב ירון ראובן, הרב אפרים כחלון, ראשי ארגון בעזרת השם, שהלכו בפי עליון, שעלו מעלה, יהיה להם ברכה והצלחה, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא בישועות ליבם, לטובה ולברכה. שבכל אשר יפנו, ישכילו ויצליחו. יזכו לעשות כאלה וכאלה. הגדילו תורה לאדירה, אמן ואמן.
בעזרת השם רשת בכל הארץ. הוא היהודי הזה, הוא היה מיליונר, סגר את כל הביזנס, אמר אני משקיע פה בעולמה של תורה.
איפה הוא גר?
בפלורידה.
פלורידה. איפה זה פלורידה? באמריקה.
במיימי. כן, ליד. אנחנו שם עכשיו הולכים להקים קהילה ספרדית.
חזק אותו בשמי.
קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
תעביר לו מה שבירכתי אותו.
כן, קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
כן.